Hello, my Taurus people. This is your April 2016 horoscope. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy birthday to those of us Tauruses like me that were born in the month of April. Happy early birthday. I wanted to let you guys know that I now offer live readings in collaboration with livevisions.com. There's a link in the description box on how to contact me, how to schedule a live reading with me. And for the month of April, we're actually running a promotion. The first 10 minutes of your reading are free. So go ahead and click the link to learn how to schedule that. I do also offer recorded readings. You can catch those on livevisions.com. I have other options that I offer as well as far as services. So you can shoot me an email. My email address is also in the description box. So hit me up. I would love to do a reading for you and help you out. All right. Now let's get started with your month of April horoscope. So of course we got to start out with what the sun is doing. The sun is in Aries, where he has been since about the 21st of March. And this is in your 12th house. The 12th house is the house of rest. It's the house of where we go to retreat, where we go to unwind and just kind of let everything go and just kind of relax. And we go into deep thoughts as well. So while the sun has been in our 12th house, you know, even though it's Aries, which is a fire sign, I mean, we still feel the 12th house feeling of the sun, which is, you know what, the sun, it wants to shine so bright and have all this energy, and it's made of fire. But once it goes in the 12th house, that's a water house. It's the deepest water in the chart, which is like the oceans. So the sun sinks down in the ocean. It just wants to relax and unwind and just stay there floating like, you know what, I don't want to worry about any of this practical real world stuff right now. I just want to be in my zone, be in my fantasy world and watch movies and just kind of be a recluse for a while, you know. So that is the sun in Aries. But once we get to the 9th, the sun comes in conjunction with Uranus. All right, and this is in your 12th house. So Uranus is that energy that's very unexpected, very surprising. It's very rebellious. It's very freedom loving, you know. So when the sun goes in contact with it, when it's in the 12th house, well, for one thing, this can cause a lot of crazy dreams, maybe even some dreams and some insight into the future. That's information given to you from the other side, maybe from ancestors that have passed on or something like that. So you may want to pay close attention to your dreams around that sun in conjunction with Uranus time. But also the 12th house is an artistic energy, like the energy of art that just kind of flows through you from the planet Neptune, that you just kind of receive and you just go with the flow. And Uranus is very unique and innovative and creative. So if you are in a creative field, Taurus, around the first week of April and into the second week and a few days after the 9th, you will get a lot of creative insight and visions, and you could be that visionary person that comes up with some really cool stuff. So keep that in mind. On April 20th, the sun goes into your sign, which is Taurus. Now the sun is like a flashlight, right? So the sun is going to be shining a flashlight on you. The spotlight is on you. Your life path, your body, your appearance mainly is the focus when the sun is there. So the sun in the first house is an excellent time to really pay attention to your appearance. Go shopping if you can. Do something different with your looks, you know, and really just shine out to the world. People might be paying more attention to you. And this could be good or bad depending upon what it is that you're doing and how you're acting out in life. But also the first house is very authoritative, okay? It's like, look at me, everything's all about me. So you can be feeling that way, which is good, you know? You can be wanting to just have all this energy to get things done, but at the same time, try not to be that arrogant a-hole drill sergeant type of person that a first house person can kind of be sometimes and do a lot of actions without too much thought. So that's the energy of the sun in the first house, which is going on the last part of the month. Our ruler Venus is going to continue to be in the sign of Pisces for the first 5 days of the month of April. Now, the Pisces energy, this is our 11th house. So this is the house of friendships and groups that you belong to. With Venus representing the feminine and the female, and the 11th house is friendships, we could have had a lot of our friends, especially female friends, contacting us during the month of March and the first 5 days of April, and saying, hey, how have you been, Taurus? You want to go out, you want to hang out, you want to go shopping, you want to go get some makeup, or maybe just contacting you and saying, hey, I really miss you, well, let's catch up some kind of way somehow, and it's been a great time to be in touch with friends and groups. And also you may have had some groups contact you because they look at you in a positive light, which is Venus, to say, hey, do you want to join my group? Especially groups revolving around anything feminine or beauty related, or anything to do with the appearance, or even things that have to do with one-on-one relationships. So that was what's going on with Venus in the 11th. On the 5th of the month, Venus moves into Aries. This is our 12th house. So the 12th house is a similar energy to Pisces, which is very dreamy. It's very spiritual. It wants to be out of touch with reality, and it's very receptive, and it's very creative and artistic. So Taurus, once again, while Venus is in the 12th house, which it will be through the whole rest of April until the last day of the month, take advantage of this super duper creative energy. You could be channeling creative energy from beyond, and Venus wants to put it out there because Venus is creative too, So also when it comes to love, which Venus represents, relationships with one-on-one partners, you can be kind of having a relationship that's on the low, or if you do have a partner already, maybe wanting to spend time with them completely alone. No one else's energy around you two, just focusing on them, on you two, escaping the madness of the world together. So it's a great time to enjoy that. As I mentioned, Venus goes into Taurus on April 30th, and that's actually my birthday, so I'm so excited about Venus going into Taurus. The last day of the month in Taurus season, we will be enjoying Venus in our sign. So that is an excellent day for pampering, excellent day for shopping, for doing anything to enhance your appearance. If you're a guy, hey, Venus affects you too. Go get your hair cut, look sharp, look good, feel clean, and feel good about yourself, and put yourself out there in a positive light. Whatever planet is transiting through your first house, you wear it like clothes, like a badge, and people see that on you. So they'll be seeing Venus on you. You'll be exuding her energy. So people will be reacting to you in a positive way, and you may attract some prospects if you're looking. Mars continues to be in the sign of Sagittarius, which is your 8th house, Taurus. And Mars will go retrograde on the 17th of April. So Mars is your action and drive, right? And the 8th house is joint financial matters. It's also the house of intimate partnerships with a person. Not just casual dating, not the surface level. No. It's like really bonding with another person, joining souls with them, sharing your world with them, sharing your finances. You may share property together or money, whatever it is. You're really sharing yourself with another person on a deep level. So with Mars there, Mars is very action-oriented. He can be kind of frustrating sometimes, so he may be kind of impatient when it comes to joint finances. Try to avoid getting in conflicts with your partner over these joint finances. But with Mars going retrograde, retro means going back. So you may have some things that you need to go back over again when it comes to intimacy, especially because Mars is, he rules like the drive, the physical drive, and that can mean, your drive towards intimacy physically with a partner. So you may go over those things. It's not a scary thing. It could be, we've been lacking in this area, so we need to talk about it. What can we do to get that spark back? Because Mars, he wants that spark. He wants to just go with passion in the 8th house. So use this time to go over those things with your partner. Also to go over joint finances. But like I said, he could be pretty fiery and fired up about things, so try to avoid those fights. But get everything on the table and, get everything out in the open that's intimate and that revolves around things that are joined together with you two. Taurus, we're very diplomatic, so we can handle these things. Try not to let those horns come out when it comes to these matters, Taurus. Also, keep in mind, Taurus, that Saturn is also in Sagittarius in our 8th house and started going retrograde and going backwards March 25th, all right? So he's going to continue this motion through April as well. So Saturn is all about teaching hard lessons. If you have not been marching in a straight path like Saturn wants you to do in regards to 8th house matters, well, when he goes retrograde, guess what? Saturn is that hard teacher that's going to be giving you a test. He's going to be like, Taurus, I'm going to test you. and make sure that you've been doing things correctly the way I've asked you to been doing them when it comes to your joint financial matters with a partner or a business partner. Also with intimacy, have you been working on these things? I'm going to give you a test and make sure you go back and review everything. If you skip something, I'm going to bring it to the surface, bring it to light, and you're going to have to fix it. So that's Saturn retrograde along with Mars. So really be mindful of that, Taurus. Mercury continues to be in the sign of Aries. And on the first of the month, when we start the month of April, he's going to be in conjunction with Uranus. Now, this is going on in our 12th house. Uranus, like I said, he's kind of like, he's like outer worldly, he's out of the box, you know, he's very unique. And Mercury is your thought processes as well as your speaking, as well as your skills of the hands. The 12th house can be a very creative energy. So how this can play out is Tauruses, a lot of us are involved in like creative endeavors. So a lot of creativity that's very genius and innovative and out of this world can come out of us at this time. We can also have a lot of weird dreams. I'm going to be honest about that because Mercury is our thought processes. So weird dreams, and the 12th house rules dreams, but also dreams that are envisioning the future or that are real messages about the future can come up when the month begins too. So just be mindful of that as well. On the 5th of the month, Mercury moves into Taurus, which is our sign, our first house. Mercury is also a busybody. He likes to complete a lot of tasks at once, or at least attempt to. He's a multitasker, okay? So he's going to keep us very busy. When Mercury's in your first house, let me tell you, Taurus, we're going to be talking faster, thinking faster. And this is excellent for, you know, trying to do a lot of things at once. However, Mercury is that energy that is like Gemini, okay? Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Geminis, they don't always complete things. They like to do multiple things at once, but then they leave all these little trails of little messes here and there a lot of times, and they don't, all these uncompleted tasks are laying around, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll finish this, yeah, now I'll get back to it later and do this, yeah, okay, over here, now I'll do this, okay, I'll get back to that later, yeah, now back to this, yeah, back and forth. So if we are working hard in our jobs and in our daily lives while Mercury's in the first house, just be careful with trying to do too many things at once and not completing them. But Taurus, we're a very thorough sign, and Mercury's going to be in Taurus. So if we have a lot of things to complete, just keep in mind to use the Taurus energy more than the Mercury nature, if that makes sense, okay? So yes, talk fast, work fast, get things done, write fast, type fast, but beware of typos and try to still be your thorough self. On the 14th of the month, Mercury goes into shadow period. It's preparing to go retrograde, okay? And this is in our sign of Taurus. This is in our first house. So Tauruses, I'm telling you, Mercury retrograde, just being honest, since Mercury rules the mind and the logical thought processes, it's going backwards, okay? Your brain is going to feel like it's spinning backwards, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't keep track of things. I don't know what's going on. Be mindful of the Mercury shadow period and the retrograde period that starts on the 23rd. It's going to continue through the month of May, okay? So we are going to have to work very hard with our thought processes, with staying on task and getting things complete. Also, Mercury rules technology and communication. And if this is all about us, just our lives in general can just go haywire, just being honest. But remember, when Mercury goes backwards, he's closer to the Earth, his energy is more potent. So if we can take advantage of that and really use Mercury to the best of our abilities, okay? And really get things done and organized. But it will be a little bit more difficult because it's like fighting against the wind, all right? Because Mercury he rules the air sign of Gemini. Communication is normally associated with air energy. So this is like wind, like a tornado, and we're in the middle of it, and we're still trying to do things going forward, but this tornado is moving us backwards. So we have to work 10 times harder, but we can still do this, Taurus. We can get through this Mercury retrograde. Hang on to your electronics. Make sure your car gets serviced. Make sure you take care of your electronic devices and that they're in working order. And I'm sure we will be fine and we will make it. Now, another planet I'm going to mention that's going retrograde in the month of April, Taurus, is the planet Pluto. Now, Pluto is going retrograde in Capricorn, and this is in our 9th house. The ninth house is education, higher education, like college level education, all right? It's also training, like training for the job and the career, because the career is the 10th house, which is the next one over. So the ninth house prepares you, educationally speaking, for career. So you may have to go back over some training in regards to career and your higher goals that you're trying to reach. Also, the ninth house is higher minded goals that you set for yourself. So Pluto being there, Pluto is like a plumber, all right? He's going to plunge and plunge that toilet. I know this sounds nasty, but he's going to plunge it. And if any crap comes up, he's going to be like, look at this crap. You didn't flush it all the way out of your life, Taurus. Now's the time to try to do what you can and really get rid of it, okay? That's the energy of Pluto. So if something isn't working for you in regards to your goals, your high goals, and your higher education, you're going to have to go back over it again. Pluto is transformative. So he's going to be asking you to really transform yourself even more while he's going retrograde. So if you're in the fields of publishing and writing or teaching, or if you're in college and higher education, just remember, Pluto really wants you to transform yourself in that area. And don't be scared of his energy, but he is very intense, especially when he goes retrograde. So keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to go over the moons of the month. There's no eclipses, thank goodness. You know, the eclipses are very, very intense and powerful, but there's still the regular new moon and full moon. The new moon happens on April 7th. It's in Aries at 17 degrees Aries, and this is in your 12th house. Now remember, the 12th house is a very spiritual energy. It's the subconscious mind, very unconscious. So some things may be brought to the surface when it comes to the unconscious. And like I said, really pay attention to your dreams because of that 12th house energy coming up. A new beginning can happen in the way that you relax and unwind and escape the physical, practical world. You can have a new beginning when it comes to your spirituality and how you really take care of yourself to relax, you know, to clear your mind. And you may have some things from the past that come up that are pretty painful, but you have the chance to start anew with them, Taurus. So remember that with this new moon on the 7th. On the 22nd of April, there's a full moon in Scorpio at 2 degrees. This is in our 7th house. The 7th house is relationships. Full moons are very emotionally intense and they bring things to light. They bring things to a final decision. So, Tauruses, it can mean a final decision with your relationships. Are you going to get married? Are you going to be a permanently committed couple? Are you going to break up? Are you going to choose a person that you've been dating along with another person and another person? Are you going to make a decision on who you want to finally have as that one steady partner? Also with business partnerships, are you going to continue the one that you're in, or are you going to start a new one? So those are the things that the full moon are going to bring to the surface. So really watch your relationships, and there's going to be a change, so be prepared for that. All right, Taurus, so to wrap up this month, there's a lot of activity in our 12th house, okay? The subconscious mind, dreams, divine love, pure love, divine creativity, a lot of innovation with Uranus there and planets coming into contact with Uranus. Also our first house of self. So great month to feel good, to party on our birthdays, to go shopping on our birthdays, get our hair done, get a new wardrobe, buy that makeup that you've always wanted to buy, do something new with your look, and just feel good and exude a lot of positive energy out into the world to manifest things that you really want for yourself. There's also a lot of important activity going on in our 7th house because of the full moon. Also, our 8th house is activated by Mars and Saturn, going back over those really deep, intimate bonds and financial joint matters. And our 11th house is still highlighted at the very beginning of the month, continuing on and finishing up things with groups, friends, and organizations. All right, Taurus, well, thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was insightful for you. And remember, I do offer readings and services. I absolutely love doing them. So don't be afraid to click the link in the description box for livevisions.com or shoot me an email. Okay, I'll see you guys in the month of May. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your birthdays. I love you guys. Mwah. Peace.